Good morning. Welcome to the Market Forecast. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Today is September the 11th. It's a very hard day and a difficult thing to think about and a difficult thing to talk about, but it's so important that we never forget. It's going to be hard pressed for anybody who is old enough at the time to remember that day to forget where they were. I happen to be in Myrtle Beach with my family and my in-laws, and my father-in-law ran in and told us about the first plane, and then we all could do nothing but just sit and watch. And we have to always remember the 3,000 people that lost their lives that day, all of the extended family that those events affected, basically everybody. I view us as one huge family, and everybody, to one degree or another, was affected by that. Attacked by radical Islamic terrorists in New York and in Washington. Another plane, we don't know where it was going, overtaken by some of the patriotic passengers, and it's you always kind of keep it in mind. I think pretty much throughout the year, but today especially, take a minute, think about the lives that were lost and all of the lives that were affected, and all of the first responders that ran to the danger instead of running away for it. Thank a first responder. Think about them. Say a prayer for them. I'm going to say prayers for everybody. I have a very long prayer list. We're all on it. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. On that note, let's just get into the market forecast. I see here level 2. You lost a cousin today. I'm so sorry about that. It's never easy, and I pray for your comfort and the comfort of those that left behind, and give yourself time to heal up. Certainly, and you echoed my comment right there. I don't think anybody would forget where they were on that day. So, okay. Now to the forecast. As far as economic numbers this morning, we had the CPI numbers come out. They were looking for a 0.2%. It came out 0.4%. That should be hopefully a little bit of a boost for the dollar, which is currently down just a little bit. We also have 11 o'clock today. We have crop production. That's going to be a big one as we are getting closer and closer to the end of the season, the end of the growing season, and into the next crop, if you will. November soybeans. We're going to get a good look at how the growing season went this year. And if you are trading grains, man, watch yourself. This could be a wild day with that crop production due out again at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time today. As always, we're looking at these markets in context and through the lens of risk management. And as far as news is concerned, there's not really a lot going on as far as economic news. We've already got our information in large part out about that. U.S. stocks are looking to end kind of a volatile week on solid ground. It looks like we're going to be opening higher. Stimulus talks have failed in Congress, but it seems as though investors, with their short memories, are focused more on a recovery that is largely still doing well and is largely intact. The president is putting more pressure on TikTok, and he says it's going to shut it down if there's no sale deal by September 15th. I know there's a lot of young people that are enjoying that app. I'm not really a big app person, but I know a lot of folks really do seem to enjoy that. We'll see how that plays out. Crude prices consolidate after a slight boost in inventory. Announced yesterday by the EIA. We've got VIX down a little bit at 28.28. We've got the dollar index down a little bit here at 93.26. As always, make sure you like, share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are always welcome. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications for when we do go live. And again, take a moment today, take a moment of silence, and think about and pray for all those that we lost and how it affected our entire extended family on September 11th, 2011. Okay, it's very difficult to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the markets. Let's take a look at the charts here, and as always, starting with the daily and crude. Um, Upside expectations squashed in the last about 2 weeks ago. We've seen some downward momentum here. We've kind of stalled in that momentum. We're starting to enter into rollover in crude oil, so we should be probably rolling sometime the end of next week, and that's going to create the opportunity or the inopportunity for the market to just kind of become a little bit more range bound. It's not. Um, it's not. I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. It's a tough day. We're in kind of in a consolidation area. The market seems to be looking for new information. We're in a third day of basic balance here, so I think the market is looking for new information. The increase in open interest yesterday, 21,000 contracts on an inside day, seems a little bit strange to me. Seems like there is interest in coming into the market at these levels, but as long as we stay range bound, I'm going to kind of look for short time frame opportunities based on short time frame levels. As long as we stay inside yesterday's range and value here, let's take a look here at the 30-minute chart here. Okay, so we've just opened up. We put in a new all session low here on the open, and we seem to be coming back into value. This is somewhat of a possible repair type of situation. We may have gotten a little bit short here on the overnight here. Moving back towards settlement, we basically just tested a naked point of control from back here on Tuesday. Now we seem to be headed the other direction. If our opening range is the low of the session, I'll look for a move back, and I will look for a check of yesterday's point of control, which brings us up to about 37.75. So this 36.68, I have it written as in my notes here. We hadn't been there yet. I was looking for a possible move down to that level, and then I'm looking for a move perhaps back up to at least settlement, perhaps even the point of control, or even the high of yesterday's range, or even the high of the overall range. As long as we don't take out the low of Tuesday, we're in this 3-day balance area, and it can be somewhat random between which directions we head. So I'm watching that opening range in crude oil to see if we see some continuation to the upside. As far as the S&Ps are concerned, we are in Dece. I've changed the charts to Dece. It looks like the volume is still greater in the September contract, but by the end of the day today, the volume should be far greater in Dece. So looking at the domes this morning, the Dece dome seems a little bit thicker. Okay, I think there's probably already more liquidity in the Dece, so we've changed to Dece. In the equities, it's always the second Thursday of the month. If the first Friday isn't after it was yesterday. There's a whole twisted way of how they come up with when rollover day is, and it was yesterday. But in the equities, it seems that the volume rolls over the day after rollover. So we're going to see greater volume in Dece today. Anyways. We've adjusted the weekly kickoff levels. There is a 10-point discount in the December contract to the September contract. Again, almost similar to kind of crude oil. I mean, you can almost see the same kind of structure here. Just happened a week after that. We're in a 3-day area of balance here. We added 37,000 in open interest yesterday, but again, that is blurry because of rollover. Volume is going to be blurry because we've split the volume between the two contracts. So it's been a kind of a volatile week, but largely range bound. When you look at the daily chart, we started up here. We traded down to weekly kickoff low. We traded back up to a previous weekly kickoff low, which is the previous all-time high. We just seem to be bouncing back and forth. And this is going to create, I think, a waiting period for the longer time frame, and the longer time frame is more focused on getting a cheap rollover done. So, looking at the opportunities that we see in shorter time frame, we've got a little bit of overnight long inventory here. Not looking at it as a big inventory or a big opportunity, but what strikes me is we're opening in. We've kind of in the overnight we've kind of repaired some of this profile here. Now, if we open in this area, there's a couple of high volume nodes. And when we open between those in an area of low volume, we tend to trade to both of them. So I'm going to look for an opportunity perhaps at our overnight low here at our point of control from yesterday and its settlement for an opportunity for an execution here. If this does hold, I'll look for a move back perhaps to the high of value from yesterday or to this high volume node right here, or how about even this high volume node right here. Friday, I don't think that we've got any major inventory to unravel. If we do, it's probably in a medium time frame, looking at the way the market moved this week. And we didn't really go anywhere, so I don't think that we're really going to see too much of an adjustment in inventory before the weekend. I'm going to stay patient today in the equities. We're in range, in value in the S&Ps. It's rollover day. Rollover tends to be a little bit more challenging, and we're in the same situation here as well in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ 3-day balance, almost a 4-day balance. We've tested weekly kickoff high and weekly kickoff low. It's a 13-point discount from September. Oh, I still have this on September. Well, let's just move it over. I thought I changed everything, but I guess I missed this one. So I'm going to roll forward here. We are now in Dece. Doesn't really change much as far as the charts are concerned. This is the longer time frame. Tested weekly kickoff high and low this week. Volume and open interest are again going to be blurry. We added 20,000 in open interest yesterday, but that may be again a function of the rollover. Here's the 30, again, inside a kind of a repair type of situation. Last night we had a high volume node up here. We have a high volume node down here. It's very similar to the S&Ps, and we've spent most of the evening kind of repairing this low volume node. I'd like to see it get repaired in the regular trading hours as well. So this point of control down here is a high volume node. Perhaps another high volume node up here could be targeted. So I'm going to be looking for opportunities probably near the extremes of yesterday's area of value or near yesterday's point of control. Overnight inventory, not really a factor here. So I'm going to kind of keep that repair possibility as my primary hypothesis for the day. If something changes, I'm going to have to adapt. Remember, we always trade what we see. Okay. It feels and looks as though there is a looming change in gold. It's largely been range bound for about the last month. We haven't really changed much. We've had some decent opportunities. We've seen some decent moves, but in the long story of it, we haven't really moved much in almost a month. We saw an increase in open interest yesterday against this trend line, which did fail to accept above. We saw an additional 6,000 contracts created. Volume yesterday, the volume just seems to be maintaining overall, maybe kind of continuing on a little bit of a downward slope, which the longer we stay here, the longer we use up our ability to facilitate trade here, the more likely a change is going to come. Take a look at the 30. So our opening range, I believe, was the low of the regular trading hour session. We had some overnight shorts here, and while we're in this range, we are in short time frame control. And if the short time frame gets too short, this is what tends to happen. We have a move back towards settlement to unravel that overnight inventory that perhaps got a little bit too short last night. So we're seeing that play out. I'm going to again try and stay patient today as we are in short time frame control. If I'm not in this move already, I'm going to see if I get an opportunity to look for an execution up here at settlement slash point of control. Um, you know, we're just in kind of a random walk here. So watch. Sometimes you can sense your direct competitor's position by sensing your own thoughts and your own fears. If you were among the traders down here that started to get the FOMO and started to sell into the lows here, you're getting a little bit nervous now. You can recognize what our direct competitors are doing by thinking about where our own fears lie. Take a look now into the euro and to the Japanese yen. They are in Dece. We still have kind of an upward digestive structure intact here in the euro. We kind of looked below it, didn't accept necessarily in the longer time frame below that. So it seems like our next volley would be to the upside, right? It looks like a bit of an anomaly in the open interest. If you saw that on the preliminary number, it says we added 113,000 contracts to the euro yesterday, and on a day like that where there's really just not that much movement, we did take a look higher, but it was denied. I'm thinking that's more of a rollover function than an actual new accumulation of directional traders. Our overnight session inside the previous extended trading hour session. Take a look now at the 30-minute chart. Perhaps a few overnight longs got a little bit nervous here after the open. Our overnight high is basically showing rejection of value from yesterday. If we get the chance to readdress value from yesterday, if we reaccept it, then we may see that move back to the high of value. Right now, this looks like a pretty good resistance area. I'm looking at our overnight low, the low of the range from yesterday, the high of the value area from the day before as kind of a target-rich environment. Anything in the middle, I'm not that interested in. And the Japanese yen, it's been a little bit off the radar because look at where we've been. We haven't done anything all week long. We've just been in this area, very range bound. It can be part of the rollover effect. The longer time traders are more interested in getting a cheap roll than becoming directional. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye out. We're centrally located between weekly kickoff high, weekly kickoff low. Says to me, we're in short time frame control with very little change in value. There's not a lot of opportunity. Here's where we're at now. We got settlement up here, 94.35 in the December contract. So we are in range. We're in value, small range. I'm not seeing that there's any great shakes here. Perhaps our overnight low, to test these lows from the last couple of days could be an interesting opportunity. Perhaps overnight high or the high from yesterday, which lined up very nicely with our potential repair day, which did play out for us yesterday. We were looking at opening between this point of control and this point of control. We tested to this point of control, went back to this point of control, and then ranged right there the rest of the session. We don't have that opportunity today. I'm going to be very hard-pressed to find an opportunity in the Japanese yen today. All right, so let's see what we think here. Yes, subconscious December contracts today in the ES, NQ, and our currencies. Doesn't look like volume rolled forward yesterday, but today is the day when the majority of that is going to happen. And I just have been watching the domes this morning, and while the volume still looks like it's in the September contract, If you look at the total number of bids and offers in the December contract, they're equal to or sometimes even greater than the December contract. So today's the day when really the volume's going to roll over. Typically, especially in our equities, the Monday after, excuse me, the Friday after roll day is when the majority of the volume rolls over. I'm pretty sure we're going to see higher volume in the December contract than the September contract by the end of the session today. Maybe even happening as we are talking. Uh, Level 2. Hope this is not taken as a political statement. My relative was a cleaner that worked in Tower 2. She was not a born citizen of the USA. This was a world tragedy, and that should not be forgotten. Absolutely no. There's no political statement here. Level 2. Absolutely. That's kind of what I was saying. That it affected everybody. I really view the human race as one big family, and there's no perfect family. Families get in arguments, families fight, and I understand that. We just have to you know get better at civil arguing. Hmm. And I'm sorry for your loss again, level 2, for your cousin and for your relative back in 2001. All right. It's terrible when humans' lives and act. Yes, absolutely, Tanya. If you can't act out of love and compassion, don't act. Uh, Love and peace. Can you trade any September or December? You won't be disqualified, but when December. Yes, you're not going to be disqualified if you're still trading December or if you switch. Absolutely not. No. Mm-mm. You're fine. Just think about, if you're trading September today, um, definitely be trading December on Monday in all these products. Okay, trading September contracts on my micro contract, though it's not flipped. You're fine, LT. You're fine. Yep, Tanya, I agree. It's a humanity is waking up to the love that we are all, and know that we are all one. I love the warmth in the comments that we're seeing, and getting to know all of you. Um, I feel like this little community that we have here for the forecast and the recap, is really kind of becoming a family, and I believe we all are. Um, Someone fired some icebergs this morning, 3365. I was watching the tape. We'll find out if that was an algo or an institutional trader in September. May have been, again, a possible function of rollover. Doyle, when do we need to new contracts not to break rules? You're fine today. Either contract, trade them. But I would, I don't think you're going to be disqualified for trading September on Monday, but you're certainly going to be suffering some low volume, low volatility, and and maybe some bad fills. Okay? Thank you, Anthony. Joshua. All right. Big difference in the dome. Yes. Rocker. We are one. One. Joshua. Yes. Have a good trading day. I love this comment from Love and Peace. Keep your emotions and daily loss limit in check today. There's always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you're feeling emotional, it might be a good idea. It's been a tough week. Level 2. Market profile. Yes. Not American, but as an emergency worker, pandemic holds a huge place in my heart. Gary, thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. God bless you. And God bless all that work with you and all of us. All right, I'm going to take my deep breath before I start getting emotional here. Trade well today. Take your time. Be patient. You don't have to do anything if you're not feeling strong or emotional strength or mental capital. Sometimes that can be just enough to put you at risk. Understand the risk and understand that you don't have to take the risk on any given day. I'm hoping for a good trading day for all of you. Get out there and profit today. Um, Say a prayer. Stay happy. I don't think we're not going to have a recap today. I think Friday recaps are going to be done for a little while. So I look forward to seeing everybody back here on Monday. And again, hoping for a good trading day for everybody. Have a great weekend. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Stay clean. Wash your hands. Do something good for yourself and do something good for somebody else. Trade well today. We'll see you on Monday.